You should be saving for the future, but savings accounts suck, and investing can be scary. We combine the ease of savings with the real returns of investing. We call it Save Vesting, and it's only available in our new app, Stairs. Stairs offers 4 to 6% returns, no fees, and you can withdraw anytime. Do your future a favor. Visit stairsapp.com today.
I'm Brenda Connor, identity theft victim.
No, I'm Brenda Connor.
Too bad it's hard to tell which Brenda is real.
That's what you think. I've got LifeLock to monitor my info and alert me to potential identity threats. And if I become a victim, they help fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can help protect what's mine. How about that, Brenda? Thought so.
Join LifeLock by Norton and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code LifeLock.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Super J Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Damon McDonald. It is Tuesday, the 2nd of November 2021, and this is episode 184. Damon, you looking forward to your holiday?
I am. I love your little lead-in. Yes, I certainly am. I need a break. I need a break from everything. I need a break from everything. I just want peace and quiet and a sound of an ocean and some oysters and lots of beer and my feet in a pool. That's what I'm looking forward to. I haven't been anywhere for fucking 2 years. It's been a long time since I've rock and rolled, Joel. And I am.
You deserve it, man. You deserve it.
Thank you. I feel like I do. I'm going to accept that and embrace it and make gentle, sweet love to that because I feel like I do. So yes, I am excited. I cannot wait. All travel anxieties aside, all airplanes aside, I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent stuff.
And you, sir. Speaking
it's
of
all kicking off, isn't it? I mean, as I shared with you yesterday, it was the kids came back to school, so it was my first time teaching actual students in an actual classroom for almost 2 years.
That's great.
Just mental when you think about it. But really nice group of kids. There's 13 of them. They're all lovely. It's great. Maybe the best class I've ever had.
Wow.
So that makes everything a lot easier and a lot less stressful. Given that, as we all know, C-section penciled in for Friday week, and the family's soon going to get larger. So exciting times, Damon.
I tell you what, you're telling me. I am so pumped for you. I can't see straight. Yeah. I mean, the kids, they had to be excited to get back to school, right? I mean,
yeah, thrilled to be there because they've been going nuts at home with all the online learning. It's not good for them.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we all know it's not. You had to do what we had to do, but yeah, we know. It's that had to be a nice moment. Everybody probably was rocking out for at least 2 or 3 days, just riding on adrenaline. So good, excellent. All right, listen, things are turning up, and then we do have a week where we will be away, right? Obviously, Joel with a new child, me with destroying my liver. So that means we will have our guest hosts with the Super J-Cast guest host, which will be, I guess, not this week, but next week, right?
I will endeavour to reach out to everyone this weekend when I get a few minutes to sit down and listen to everything. And who knows, we might even do more than one episode. We'll see. I
think there has been some talk. So, even if it's not that week, we might have other plans. So I'm excited. I mean, I listened to everybody, and I thought we had some talented people, and I thought we had some, I don't know, just different voices. That's what I think I was most excited of. Just a different voice, and to have everyone hear that, and to have everyone sharing that, I think that would be a pretty great idea. So again, it's done, it's closed. So if you're late, tough titty, as they say, but we have a lot to sift through, Joel. So yep, I think we have a pretty narrow field, to be honest with you, but I'm excited. I think we'll have some fun with this.
Okay, we have a question from Jason who says, "Can we get a weekly update on the newest member of the JCast family, Billy Cracknell?"
Oh yes,
as you know, we are sponsoring for Concord FC. Now, unfortunately, we got an update here courtesy of my good friend Alan. Billy took a knock and wasn't in the squads for Saturday's game, but they are playing Dartford tonight, and he's expected to be back in contention. So
nice.
Fingers crossed we'll get to see Billy in action tonight, and hopefully some good news coming from that.
You think you could pull off an assist? Let's go for it. Just get on the score sheet.
A goal. From a
corner,
goal? I think. Yeah, near post header, bang, straight into the top corner.
I like this. I like the positivity. All right. Come on, Billy, let's do it. Big goal. That'd be nice. Oh, imagine that. All right, so let's get on the score sheet then. Let's do it. Big goal.
Speaking of other podcasts as well, I understand you were on Music of the Mat with one Andrew Rich. So why don't you whet the listeners' appetite for that one?
Word gets around. Word spreads. Oh. Yes. I've had a few requests recently. Like they all came all at once, I felt like. And I'm like, don't these people know to leave me alone?
Damon hates doing one podcast. Why are you trying to make him do three?
I know. But my schedule has been cray. With sports again. It's feast or famine. Either I'm doing nothing or it's just everything. And I'm doing everything. And it's just I can't squeeze everybody in just because the days they record and people record at night. And, that week I was like, I had to do Flyers and Sixers. So every night I was packing up shop and leaving and going over to an arena. And then I had to go to Madison Square Garden for crying out loud.
Did you get a pastrami sandwich for old time's sake?
No, I literally took a train up, walked out, did the game. I had a crappy press box meal. And then the second the game was over, I had to hop back on a train because if I missed that train, that last train, I'm fucked. I was going home and I had to work the next day. So it's a little touchy when it comes to doing the sports stuff at the Garden. So I didn't even. No, I did. I mean, I made it to the ground floor just to walk 40 feet to the press entrance. That was my glimpse of New York City. It was 40 feet, and then into the press box, into the press entrance, and then up the stairs or up the elevator. So no, it was not as glamorous as it sounds. Actually, I mean, it was fun. I mean, anything you do in Madison Square Garden is fun, But it's a long fucking day because again, I'm working regular job, and then I'm doing that. And it's, I had to scoot out early, and just such a pain in the ass. Why do I do this? Why do I do things I don't like? I swear to God. So anyway, yes, Andrew Rich, he hit me up, and he the days we found a good time in the schedule, and yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts. You know that, and Andrew's great. And it's wrestling wrestling musical memories. And I think it comes out sometime this week. Like it'll be probably right around the time this show comes out. So I had to pick 3 tunes that remind me of wrestling, like 3 legitimate musical tunes that like remind me of wrestling. And I'll save what they are. I'm not going to divulge them here. You'll have to listen.
Oh, you tease.
But If you know me, some of them. I would say one. I would say, well, no, probably all three of them are 80 songs. Yeah, all three of them are 80 songs. I mean, there's no if, ands, or buts. From different genres that remind me of wrestling. And it's weird because, like, Cheryl, we'll be in the car, and, like, some song will come on that would be outside of my genre, outside of the box for me. And she'll just look at me, roll up her nose a little bit. Wrestling song? Yeah. So it's one of those. But it's fun. I always love doing a show with him. He is a funny dude, a smart guy, knows his music. Yeah, so keep an eye out for Music of the Mat. I'll be on and talking music. I think I share. I do. I will tease this. Even if it's not the music, I do share a story of how a young Damon was staying up late at night for a sole purpose to see I believe it was Fantasy Island, the show Fantasy Island, and it was about a stripper, and I was hoping I would see some naughty bits. It didn't work out.
Well, we've all been there, staying up for the 10-minute free view. Used to get anyone who's UK cable or satellite TV. You'll know what I'm talking about if you're in a similar age group to me. Before internet porn came and I don't want to say ruined everything, but certainly made it less of an adventure.
Yeah,
shall we say?
Finding porn was such an adventure, wasn't it? Back in the day, like you would walk around, like you walk home from school, and maybe you cut through the, and you would see like a magazine.
Looking in the bushes, for discarded pages of magazines.
Oh my God, it was like you hit the lottery.
I remember. Sorry to interrupt. When I was in just started secondary school, so I would have been about 12, 13 years old, and I managed to get my hands on a porno mag, and so it was on a school trip. So I took this boys' school trip. I was the kid with a porno mag. I was the most popular motherfucker in that whole trip. Everyone was coming in and looking at my magazine.
Right. Man, if word got around that you got one, it was like you were a drug dealer at that point. Hey, what do you got? What do you, yeah. All right, you'll get it after Wilts and you'll get it after Woody, but that's it. Yeah. And then if you got if somehow you found a videotape, if you got a hold of a videotape.
Oh yeah, there was a videotape as well. That's another story.
Right.
I disguised by VHS. I disguised by putting the label over it and writing WWF SmackDown and Raw. So,
dude,
so people in my family wouldn't watch it.
Mine was SummerSlam '89. Yes, SummerSlam '89 was all porn. And so I had my sister's friend. My sister was older. And her friend was, I don't know what her story was, but anyway, she apparently was old enough to, I guess you could be 18 to get porn. And I think she was 18. I guess she was 18 because she could get it. And every time she would come over, and it wasn't often, but every time she would come over, I'd be like, can you go? Because we had a video store. You could probably walk to the video store. I'd be like, can you hook me up? She's like, oh, all right. She would go. She goes, what do you want? And I was like, I don't care. Just fucking at this point, I don't have a theme or a genre I need. I just need fucking, see a boob or two. And she came back. This thing was hardcore, man. Like the minute I put the fucking tape in, there's fucking cum shots everywhere. This girl is just getting just blasted, and it was too much for me to handle at the beginning. I was like, wow, what the fuck? There was no buildup. It was literally just boom, 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 boom. And I couldn't handle it at first. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? Yeah. That was the first, that might have been the first time I saw a real porno though. Like you would see like in magazines, you would see, yeah, obviously, there's no movement, but you would, you wouldn't see anything too graphic. Well, yeah, I mean, a lot was left to your imagination. Let's put it that way. This was me jumping into the deep end of the pool of the porno. I'm not going to lie.
It was the same for me. I remember asking the boy that I procured it from, because I was dubious. I was like, oh yeah, you really got a porno for us. I thought he'd recorded one of the erotic late night movies from Channel 5 or something, like Illegal
Right,
Briefs,
right.
a thrilling, sexy drama about a courtroom. Those are the sorts of ones where, if you're lucky, you might see a nipple or two.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so what is the most explicit thing that happens in this video? And he was like, it's all pretty explicit, mate. And I was very skeptical. And then I watched it, and yeah, probably similar to you. Within like about 12 minutes of this video, people are urinating on each other. So I was, oh, okay. This is a bit spicy for me.
Yeah.
Music memories with Andrew Rich, porno memories with the Super J cast.
But everybody has them. Like everybody has that first, whoa, this is what this is all about. Okay. My goodness. Seems to be a lot of fluids flying around. Jeez. But yes, it was the good times. Good. But I guess my point is that there was an adventure and I guess a buildup and an anticipation, because again, now it's just, click a button, boom, I could see just about anything. And I don't know, and I know this sounds like Grandpa Damon talking, but it's like there's no that's what's sometimes I feel like there's no anticipation for anything anymore. And I think that's a lost feeling of waiting and yearning.
Well, one thing we've been waiting and yearning for, Damon, is for Japan to ease limits on attendance at large events. And it looks like we're getting some positive movement in that direction. So the article that I read yesterday, they're going to ease the 100,000 spectator attendance limit for big events. The gist of it seemed to be that you can have 5,000 spectators or 50% of the venue capacity, whichever is larger. Okay. And the cheering would be decided on a case-by-case basis. I mean, I assume there is some sort of external authority making that call rather than the companies deciding themselves. But that seemed to be the choice anyway. You can have the full building if you want, as long as it's fewer than 5,000. But if you want chanting and shouting, it's got to be 50%. So we've got a few questions coming.
Come on, I mean seriously, right? Oh my. Like, who's making that call? Before the questions come, who the fuck's making that call? All right.
Well, I'm imagining some Japanese.
You can cheer tonight. Yay!
I'm imagining some Japanese bureaucrat having to sit and watch tapes from the last 2 years of New Japan with like a decibel meter, so just checking for every single show. Are people cheering? Can we trust this company to enforce the cheering rules?
Oh, I mean, come on! This is getting Joe. Are we at ludicrous stages now?
Yeah. I mean, look, okay. Come on, Japan. You've beaten COVID. You've won. Come on. You take a victory lap. Just go everything back to normal, please, just for the sake of the sanity of me and Damon and all the other New Japan fans.
I got to worry about if any of these questions are about decibels and who's cheering and who's not. I think it's dumb. Okay, I think we're at the dumb part. I think we're at the point where I'm just like, please, either do it or don't.
Well, it's not just that. There was other news as well. The government setting to announce a relaxation of the border policies where exchange students, trainees, and those on short business trips will be able to enter the country with a quarantine of as little as 3 days if vaccinated. So, is there anything that we say would be pure speculation? We don't know what the company is capable of doing in terms of getting these visas for people who have been in the country or haven't been in the country. We don't know the vaccine status for the wrestlers, but it's moving in the right direction at least. So I will throw the questions at us. All right. Multiverse A says, do you think the type of crowds they're allowed to have for Wrestle Kingdom will influence the card? For example, would they hold back a match like Moxley versus Tanahashi for a time when they can have full cheering crowd if they're not allowed to at the Dome? And Trish said, with today's news, what sort of capacity do you think they will run at the Tokyo Dome show? So, I mean, at the very least, if it stays like this, there is the potential for 20,000 people in the Tokyo Dome. And depending on how this cheering thing plays out, possibility for cheering. My question is, do 20,000 people still want to go and watch New Japan Pro Wrestling? Do you think that demand is still there?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, I think 20,000 people they'll get. I really do. And I know that there are people that are so aching to travel again and to get there that, there's a possibility that there's people are still hoping and planning that they can get in for this year's Wrestle Kingdom. I think they can get 20. The problem is this: 20,000 is not a place where you want to save for Tokyo Dome, because 20,000 in the Tokyo Dome sounds. I don't care if there's full cheering or not. Sounds like 5, right? It's a place where the sound just rises and it doesn't resonate. Now an arena, an indoor building, would be much better with 50% crowd and cheering, in my mind. So I don't know if it makes a whole hell of a lot of difference for the Tokyo Dome. Now, on lean years, 20,000 they had. So you can go back and watch tapes and see how that might look, feel, and sound. Look, anything that moves forward in this process is okay by me. I'm just like at the point where it's like, okay, we're come on, let's go. Let's go.
I don't have the energy to analyze and speculate. Just tell me what's going on when it's all decided, and then I'll comment about it after the fact, rather than thinking, oh, well, if they've changed this quarantine rule, that means this wrestler might get in, or they might save this match if chanting is allowed, and blah, blah, blah.
I don't think they'd do that.
I can't do it anymon.
Yeah, I can't. I can't do it. And B, here's the thing, too. I don't think they do that. I don't think they sit there and say, no, we have this match available to us, but we're going to hold this match, right? Especially when it comes to bringing in other talent and flying people in and all that stuff. I'm telling you, if they can do something, they're doing it. They're not waiting for shit. Because, quite honestly, we've seen this year. Just in G1, we've seen. With injuries, I'm sure they had shit written down for Ibushi to finish out the year. I'm sure they had shit for Naito. I'm sure they had. Injuries happen. Dumb shit happens. COVID happens. We've seen in the past 2 years. They're not. I don't think they're holding back on shit. If they have, they got to do it because they don't. They're so, the world has decided to, and karma has decided to take a giant dump on the lap of New Japan Pro Wrestling. So let's. They're going to do whatever they can to do it whenever they can to do. And yeah, I think 20,000. I think they can get 20,000. I don't think they'll have any problem getting 20,000. If you told me 40, that might be a problem.
Hypothetically, would you prefer a full arena clap crowd or a half arena noisy crowd? Not specifically for Tokyo Dome, but just let's say Power Struggle, Edion Arena. So again, I'm not saying that this is a choice that New Japan have to make, but would you take 5,000 people clapping or 2,500 cheering?
2.5 cheering. 2.5 cheering. Because here's the thing: 2.5 could easily sound like 4 if they're into it. You know what I mean? Like that, and again, especially the building too. They can make noise and they can stomp and they can cheer and they can yell and they can sing along and I'd rather have that than 5,000 people sitting on their hands and then clapping. I'm so tired of clapping. Yeah.
Let's move on to talk about Ring of Honor, who? Of course, have partnered New Japan in the past. And news coming up, they've suspended all their shows, all their tapings until, is it next April? They said they're going to do something. And they've released all their talent from their contracts. I don't look at this thing as a cause for celebration. I'm not getting excited like, what could this mean for New Japan? I think it's never a good thing when a wrestling company like ROH, I don't want to say goes out of business, but more competition is good. So I don't think this is something that we should be cheering for.
No.
But all the same, questions coming in. Oscar Rooney says, with the ROH news last week, how can New Japan and New Japan of America take advantage of the situation? Antonio says, thoughts on the ROH possibly folding or rebooting? Thoughts on the whole situation? How will it impact New Japan? How will it benefit New Japan and other promotions? That is also my question. And Vase Collector says, can you see any of the ROH roster pulling a quote-unquote Chase Owens and shipping off to Tokyo for a little Japan run while ROH recalibrate during their Q1 hiatus, or Strong stateside? Anyone you'd like to see? And that is my question. So what do you make of this ROH thing?
I think I mean, keep in mind, Strong is a place where not many people have contracts anyway, right? So let's not.
Yeah, well, the only one we have had confirmed is Fred Rosser, right?
Yeah. I mean, so let's not get all excited of New Japan bringing in guys to Strong and thinking it's going to be any different than what they have right now, right?
I mean, they're using ROH guys anyway. I mean, people
correct.
like Brody King, Chris Dickinson, Jonathan Gresham, we have seen them or will be seeing them regardless of what their ROH status is. So, I don't really think this changes much. I mean, I don't believe New Japan have all the disposable income to start splashing the cash and tying people down to exclusive contracts. I don't think they do that anyway. I think if these wrestlers are smart, they're going to be looking for the kind of deals that will let them work whichever promotions they want, basically.
Yep. That's and in my mind, that's the smart way to go. To be able to keep in mind, these are guys that some of them are young and a bright future, but might need just a little bit more exposure to different types of wrestling and styles and promotions, and the more they work, the better they will be. So that's the positive is you're going to see a lot of those younger guys being able to work in various promotions. Truth be told, on the surface, the people that I worry about are the people who have been around the block a few times, right? That haven't made. I don't want to say haven't made it to a big promotion with a contract, because that might not be something that they're even interested in. Period. But guys who have been around the block for Ring of Honor that aren't on Strong and aren't making a shot for AEW or aren't keeping their names out there. Those are the ones that I would worry about a little bit. And also, there's more than just the people that are in the ring that are impacted by this. It's I think of was it Ian? Is it Riccaboni?
If we're looking at anyone that New Japan should sign, it'd be him.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I enjoy his work. I think he does very well for all the stuff that I've heard him on with Ring of Honor. That's to me the guy that hasn't been signed yet. That might be a good idea to be signed is Ian. Just there seems to be a gaping hole in Strong when it comes to a guy who can back up Kevin Kelly, right? If Kevin Kelly can't do the shows, to have Ian in your back pocket, that's good. That's strong. Pardon the pun. So truth be told, that's the one I'm looking at. That's not in ring. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at.
Let's stick with the US for the time being. We've got a few match announcements. November 13th for Battle in the Valley, the San Jose show, we have Juice Robinson against Moose. We have Yuya Uemura versus Josh Alexander. And Violence Unlimited. I think that's supposed to be Violence Unlimited, but someone deleted all the vowels, which would be Brody King, Chris Dickinson, against the Stray Dog Army. For Detonation, November 15th, that must be a taping. Alex Coughlin versus Josh Barnett, which is really interesting to me. Gabe Kidd with his return match against Jonathan Gresham. And then Tom Lawler against Fred Rosser for the Strong title. And also a singles match with Tomohiro Ishii versus Brody King. So any of those matches jumping out and making you take your pants down?
I like the Brody King Ishii. That sounds really sexy, right? That one's a nice one. Fred Barnett, former Eagles wide receiver Fred Barnett, making an appearance. Aren't there a lot of guys?
You know who's going to turn up on the Super J Cast, do you?
What's that?
You never know who's going to turn up on the Super J Cast.
right. Correct. Josh Barnett, of course.
I hope he challenges Jay White. I know lots of people have said it, but that is the match we all want. 3 years in the making. Josh Barnett against Jay White after all the shenanigans that went down. whatever that show was. You know the one. But...
Yeah, I was there. That's smart money, isn't it? That's smart
I think
money.
that would be a huge match.
That's smart money right there. Of course, but anything involving Jay White, that would be great. That never happened. So, remember when Jay White? Wait a minute. Remember when Jay White had a face-to-face with Kenny Omega on Impact? You remember that? What?
I did. Oh my gosh, I completely forgotten about that.
Yeah. Exactly. Do you remember that?
I mean, this is just
remember that
Jay
stare
White
down?
failing to deliver on any of the hype and the promises and the teasers that have been laid down.
Right. I mean, since the beginning of the year. And here's what, like, I remembered that like 2 days ago. And it was just like literally one of those things that just popped in my head, like just a random bing. And I'm like, oh my God. And I actually had to look it up on my phone and be like, did I dream that happened? It sure did. And it went, boo, into the pool. So yes, on paper, Joel, that sounds like a fucking fantastic idea. It sounds like something that would, it sounds exactly like something New Japan would do. Let's wait 3 years to capture on this, on this momentum.
Maybe they can pay off some of these storylines in WWE somewhere down the line.
Yeah. And Shibata's coming back too, so he'll finally get revenge on Kenta 3 years later. Hey, is Shibata coming back, Joel?
He's not medically cleared. He's only cleared to do exhibition matches. So,
is that what it is?
Yeah,
it's really that was. I mean, that's what it was. That's the word on the street.
Yeah, I think that's been confirmed in interviews.
Okay,
Shibata, he wants to get back in the ring. He wants to do it properly, but he's not cleared yet.
So it was a dick tease.
Well, he could be working. Who knows? I don't know. My whole thing is just wake me up when it happens. Once that match gets booked, then I'll start getting excited about it. But that's why I loved your enthusiasm for it last week.
But it's all bullshit.
Got a little bit carried away myself. Well, we don't know yet. We don't know. Well, I think this is something we'll have to come back to in 6 months to a year.
Are you saying this? Are you saying my wild speculation of Shibata and Okada at the Tokyo Dome?
I told you at the time that was not going to happen. No, I'm sorry, Dave.
Wow, we really took that ball and ran with it, didn't we? Here's what we do, though. I will say this: what we do, and I think part of what we like to do in again, we joke a lot about. We do a show about us talking, and we just happen to be recording it. This is us at the pub, right? That wild speculation, I want people to think, and you can think it's bullshit, you can think it's not, whatever, but whatever. I like the idea of taking people for a ride, in a sense, not in a this is total bullshit, and he knows it's bullshit. No. I'm a fan, and I want to have fun and speculate like the rest, and enjoy what ifs. And I just wanted to take somebody on a fucking ride. You know what I mean? Like I wanted to, cause I believed in everything I said. Don't get me wrong. Like I led myself down that path, but the idea of taking people along and having people get hyped up for New Japan and having people think like, oh my God, this is a possibility. This is on the table. I'm fucking pumped. Great. Instead of sitting here for 2 hours being like, this fucking sucks. Who wants to listen to that? Let's have some fun with it. So, all right. We're not going to have any more fun. Fuck me. Great.
Well, I'll tell you, this is actually quite interesting. Going back to Japan here, did you see Katsuya Kitamura has reappeared? He's going to be having a fight on the Ryzen show. Any interest in that? He doesn't strike me as someone who I think is going to be a particularly successful mixed martial artist. He's one of these guys who's just so much muscle.
Yeah, mass.
He's going to be gassed out after about 40 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, he's been training. But here's the thing, and I don't know much about the Ryzen, so don't at me. I don't even know what that means. They're not really known. They like to have these very strange fighting style against very strange fighting style, right? Like almost like exhibition-y type things, right?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Right. So maybe that's the draw of I don't know, a guy who is that big and that who is going to get gassed out in 30 seconds. He's got to win it clean very quickly. Yeah, I guess I have some interest in it. I mean, I'm not going to stay up till 3:00 in the fucking morning to watch it, but
yeah, if someone sends me a link to
I'll watch
highlights of it, whatever, I'll watch. Sure.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Good luck to him. Staying in Japan, then we had a match that was actually taking place when we were recording last week. It was the main event of the Road to Power Struggle show from Tuesday, October 26th at Korakuen Hall. It was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship match where, to the surprise of many, the Flying Tigers, Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles, defeated the champions Kanemaru and Desperado in 20 minutes, 30 seconds. Eagles forcing Kanemaru to tap out via the Rob Miller special. And the Flying Tigers became the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So that one was a surprise. I mean, I remember earlier in the year praising the Flying Tigers during the Super Junior Tag League, saying
you did.
People were sleeping on them and that Tiger Mask was looking really good and that it was an underrated tag team. I was not expecting them to strap them up. What did you think of it?
Yeah, it did shock me, actually. It's always, I always think like a champion going into a tag championship match scenario. It's very rare to me that you wind up with double champion. You are right though. That Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles have this fucking dynamic that I really dig. And I can't quite put my finger on exactly why I like it. Maybe it's just so strange to me. I don't know. But I really like the dynamic. And I like the look. I don't know. I just like them as a tag team. But yeah, the finish did shock me. The finish did because I thought it was an easy way. I swear to you, I was like, I would have bet the house on Tiger Mask taking the fall because that would have been the simplest, easiest thing just to get through the night. Nobody's get. I think everyone in that building thought Tiger Mask was losing that match. Right, going into it, I know I did, and yeah. I mean, I will say this, and I don't take this the wrong way. It is the IWGP Junior Tag Team Championships. I mean, it can get changed around to some strange teams, and I don't think anyone's going to get offended by that.
I'm just glad it's not Roppongi 3K.
Right.
I mean, we did have a question. Violent Skipping says, at what stage do we get a junior tag division that can stand on its own 2 feet rather than revolving around the singles champs? And I don't think it has been the case. I mean, I think over the past few years, the junior tag division has been established tag teams, but the problem is there's too few of them and we end up seeing the same combinations 100 fucking times.
Right. And again, who are they bringing in? They're not flying in anybody for the fucking junior tag straps. You know what I mean?
Where are the Regal twins? I can't find. They disappeared without a trace. Checked all the social medias, case they just vanished off the face of the earth. And they were supposed to be my saviors for the junior tag division, and now they've gone into
where are they?
Parallel dimension or something.
They're not on social media?
There haven't been updates for months.
Wow. Are they okay?
I hope so. If you're listening, Regal Twins, or if someone is listening who is in touch with them, let us know. I'm worried.
Because we're legitimate fans. Like that. Like when we joke about they were going to save that, we were kind of.
I was joking, Damon. Yeah. I meant that with all the sincerity in the world.
Yeah. Oh no. And speaking of which, I mean that kind of never mind. I was going to say, where's Steven Regal's kid?
I believe he's NXT now.
Oh, really? Okay. That was quick, wasn't it?
He got the proper training. Now it's time to learn how to work the hard camera. Daddy showed up at Cork and Hall and was like, wait a minute, I know that guy.
That's my kid. We sign him.
Son, it's time to come home.
Yeah.
Enough of this foolishness.
Yes, foolishness. The chicanery. Wow, yeah, I forgot all about them.
But yeah,
Okay.
junior tag division, wafer thin. But I appreciate having a breath of fresh air with new champions, and I think they're worthy champions. I am happy to see Tiger Mask getting a championship. Gosh, the length of time between this one and his last one must be pretty substantial. I mean, maybe approaching some sort of record. I don't know. We'd have to ask Chris Samster about that. I mean, I thought it was a really good performance by him. He was, I don't want to say the cornerstone of the match, but he did feature quite prominently as the underdog babyface, doing a lot of leg selling. There was really good sustained leg work, not just for him, but all the guys, actually. And I think you could put Tiger Mask in the best of the Super Juniors, no problem. But I don't know if there's space for him. I mean, there's been some whispers that he could be in the World Tag League, teaming up with Yuji Nagata, so that is a possibility too. But yeah, Robbie Eagles is now double champion. Do you think we should now be expecting Besby to win the singles title back at Power Struggle?
Great question. You would think. I know, again, having two titles is always just like this red flag for me. I was going to ask you. I'm not going to answer your question with a question. I'll answer your question. Do I think? I'll say no. I think he successfully defends that title. What do you think of that? But now I will follow up with the tag champions, Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles. Are they a one and done, or do they successfully defend? And who do they lose it to? Do you think they lose it back to Kanemaru and Despy? Or is there a new team that shows their face and they lose to them?
I think with Wrestle Kingdom around the corner, there's an expectation that we're going to see some familiar faces coming back. So if I had to choose who would win it next, if I can't introduce any new names, then maybe Mega Coaches. If Rocky Romero's coming in, I don't know if he is, but if he's coming in for Wrestle Kingdom, then he and Taguchi could take the belts and hold them for a bit. I really like that team.
All right. So now you got me thinking. And I just need some clarification. And I don't know if you can. I'm a pro wrestler. I'm going to go to the Tokyo Dome. What are the requirements that I need to do to go wrestle on 3 nights at Tokyo Dome, or 2 nights at Tokyo Dome, 1 night at Yokohama? What do I need to do? Is it just 3 days of quarantine at this point?
Yeah, if you're fully vaccinated, that's what it sounds like.
Okay. People do that all the time anyway, right? Like, even when they fly in for these shows, it's not like, I mean, that's not a stretch. That's not a terrible thing. We're gonna have a full slate if people want to come. Like, if you're New Japan talent, I'm expecting everybody to be there. Jay White, Juice, Finley, all of them. Is that expectation that's going to happen, right? So that would include Shibata, right?
Stop it! Don't.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But my point is, yeah, Rocky should be there, right? Everybody should. Let's put it this way: this will be the first show where everyone's back, right? No excuses, right?
Yeah, I would think so. If it's just 3 days, and that applies to all of those names that we've mentioned, all the people that are in the States, then I don't see any good reason why they wouldn't be there.
Okay. Strong. Who's coming over from Strong?
I don't know what the situation is in terms of getting new visas. I mean, for people with pre-existing visas, then I think no problem. But in terms of generating visas for people who haven't been to Japan in recent years,
that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I think so. For now, at least.
Can they forge them? And so we're not expecting Rosser, and we're not expecting Filthy Tom, even though he is a free agent.
I don't know, because again, if there are loopholes, then you'd expect New Japan to be smart enough to work around them. You know, if we're
Yeah.
putting these guys on student visas or whatever.
right. I'm a teacher. I'm an
Lawler
English
turned
teacher.
out, hello, I'm here for my studies.
Right. Okay. All right. I just needed to throw that in. So again, just so we're clear, and we run wild with the speculation. This should be the first Wrestle Kingdom in a few years where we have everyone available to us. It should be.
Yes, I'll tentatively say yes.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
Injuries pending.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Oh, we've got a question here from Chris. He says, "In New Japan sticking with the 1 block of 10 format for Best of the Super Juniors this year? The tour schedule suggests so. If so, who do you think makes the cut?" This is something that gets discussed all the time on our Discord, and I never pay attention to it. I just always forget. It's one ear, out the other. My understanding is the way that the dates have worked out is that it's likely to be 12. So just Despi, Kanemaru, Hiromu, Ishimori, Sho, Yo, Bushi, Wato, Robbie Eagles, Taguchi, Doki, maybe El Phantasmo or Tiger Mask. I don't think there's going to be anything that's going to be setting the world on fire.
Yeah, you named what I mean. I lost count with my fingers. Yeah, I mean those are the names that'll be in that. And then, I mean, I know there's always speculation. They always want to bring in like Dragon Lee, but that's not happening, right?
Well, he is one. I don't know what the visa status would be because he was in the country in 2020. I don't know if it would have expired or what, but who knows where. He's just, again, another one who's, as far as New Japan concerned, just disappeared into ether. What a disappointment that is, you know, being involved in Jushin Thunder Liger's retirement and then poof, he's gone.
Yeah.
Sad. All right, well, shall we discuss a power struggle then, which is coming up this Saturday, November 6th at the Osaka Prefectural Gym, the Edion Arena. We're opening with the Young Lions, Kosei Fujita and Ryohei Oiwa against Doki and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. So routine win here for Suzuki-gun. Again, I'm just looking at Fujita and Oiwa to see is there something there that can lay the groundwork for them being a tag team or junior tag team in the future. I think they're probably more geared towards being heels just because I don't like their faces. They've got hateable faces. I think they've got heelish faces. So, but it's going to be a pretty easy win for Suzuki-gun.
I'm in full agreement. I'm again, as I look for in these Young Lions matches, I'm not looking for technique and all. They have all that. You know, they're yes, they can do a hip toss. Yes, they can do a Boston Crab. Yes, we get it. They wouldn't be in that ring if they couldn't. Let's put it that way. I'm looking for connections with the crowd. I'm looking for personality. I'm looking for some glimmer of that. Again, as a young lion, it might be sometimes hard to do, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it's. I'm not looking for hip tosses.
That will be the acid test. When we come back next week to discuss Power Struggle, do you have anything to say about these guys? Like, was there something that jumped off the screen to you where you can say, you know what, that Fujita, I noticed such and such, without having to, you know, twist yourself into a pretzel trying to have a take on a performance that, you know, are largely perfunctory just by their very nature. So we'll touch base next week and see how they did. Second match, Tiger Mask, Honma Makabe against Jado, Gedo, and Tangaloa.
Oh.
I mean, yeah.
That hurts. I mean, seriously, I think my kidney just fucking popped.
I guess what I'm curious about here is, are GBH, Great Bash Heel, going to be entering the World Tag League? Because
yes.
Honma and Makabe on the same team, probably. Am I looking forward to it? No. Third match then. Master Wato, Taguchi, Yuji Nagata against Bushi, Hiromu, and Sanada. Again, I mean, not really sure what I can say about this. I've got nothing.
I mean, what?
It's an undercard multi-man tag match. What do you want?
Right. Please.
Okay, next match. Fourth match. Never openweight 6-man tag championship match. Yoshihashi, Ishii, Goto defending against Sho, Yujiro, Evil. Is this the time on their 10th defense that the Chaos team finally lose?
It's a nice round number, right? Nice 10, huh? Yeah, I think so. And it's a team that you could see them losing to, right? It's not some wacky hodgepodge team. Like, this is a team that has some focus. They're going to give. They can't have Evil not have any type of gold, right? And again,
hopefully, if he wins, that can be him sort of tied up. That can be his Wrestle Kingdom program. Just
see
fucking about with the 6-man belts.
Now we're on the same page with that. We're on the same page now. Because yes, that's like he could fuck around all day long with the never 6-man titles. I don't give a shit. You could choke. You could bring out the fucking you can do it all. I don't care. Sounds like a sex tape, doesn't it? You could choke me. You could bring out the wire. Yes. Yeah, he's fucking about with this never 6-man titles, which, again, have been elevated beyond anyone's wildest expectations by the Chaos team. Absolutely. That's the truth. And I'm not even going to sit here and say, oh, they're going to devalue the never 6-man. Oh, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, there is a ceiling for these titles, and I think we reached them this year. And good job.
What can you do if you wake up rested? Improve your overall health and performance with deep, restful sleep and app-controlled cooling technology by Chili Sleep. Enjoy uninterrupted and high-quality deep sleep that caters to your body's natural rest pattern. Chili Sleep helps you rest soundly beside your partner with temperature settings adjusted specifically for your side of the bed. Visit chilisleep.com/try. That's CHILISLEEP.com/TRY.
I'm Brenda Connor, identity theft victim.
No, I'm Brenda Connor.
Too bad it's hard to tell which Brenda is real.
That's what you think. I've got LifeLock to monitor my info and alert me to potential identity threats. And if I become a victim, they help fix it. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock can help protect what's mine. How about that, Brenda? Thought so.
Join LifeLock by Norton and save up to 25% off your first year at LifeLock.com with promo code LifeLock.
Yes. We had a fun time with them. Give it. You know what? I have never rooted so hard for an Evil win because you nailed it. Have him fuck about with the never 6-man titles. He can do whatever the Dick Togo can do whatever the fuck he wants with those titles. I don't care. As long as it stays there, I don't give a shit. Go for it. I don't care if there's a live sex show with
just all standing around that, all the House of Torture, wanking each other off onto the belts in the middle of the ring.
Love it. Please. I love it. I love it beyond the never titles.
One thing I'd be interested in here is that these 6-man titles have, over the last year, been defended in Korakuen main events that have lasted 36 minutes. Here, it's the 4th match on a 9-match card. How much time are they going to get, and is it still going to be good? Will Yoshihashi still be able to show his value as a never openweight 6-man champion? I don't want to say buried in the mid-card, but in the mid-card. I mean, it's a mid-card title. This is where it should be on a big show.
Yeah. I mean, we had these titles be main events because we were stuck between a rock and a hard place. And we had guys who could go and make these matches pretty great, beyond our wildest expectations. But yeah, no, this is not getting 30 minutes. This is getting 10, 15, and it's going to be a sprint, which makes it
should be enough.
Yeah, which makes me feel like this would be a pretty fun match, like just balls to the wall. So yes. Now, again, if they grab a fucking chin lock and we're doing a 10-minute match and in a 6-man, get up the street with that. But if they just go a very hard, fast 10 minutes, this could be pretty fun. Yeah.
Speaking of fun, our 5th match is the Provisional KOPW 2021 match with the holder Toriano against the challenger Great Okan in an amateur rules match of 2 3-minute periods with a 30-second interval. This could either be, I was going to say comedy shit, or it could be really good. If it's like serious grappling, because we know he can grapple. He does it once a year, and it's always quite fun to watch. And Okan is an accomplished grappler. So if they actually do this properly and have an amateur wrestling match, I think it could be pretty damn good. And, at the very worst, it's only going to be 6 minutes long. So how bad can it be? Come on.
You
double speed, watching double speed, 3 minutes.
Yeah, double speed. Because here's the thing. I like they could work this in a way where it's all again, I'm pipe dream here. I'm on Mars with this, but it's okay. Come for the ride. The trip is great. Just take this little piece of paper, put it on your tongue. Come on, we're going for a trip.
Is Shibata getting involved in this KPW match?
It's the ring. No, I'm saying, they could do something in the sense of, okay, it gets a little bit too snug, and it gets a little bit too tight, and it gets a little bit too, and it turns into
one of them
a little
pops a boner.
That's what I'm thinking. I was thinking blood loss, not blood flow. But imagine if somebody, gets opened up a little bit, or somebody, turns into a little bit more MMA than amateur style, or whatever the case may be. Like, I don't know, it gets a little bit heated, and then you can have a little pull apart. Right? New Japan loves the pull apart. Everybody jumps in the ring, and everybody's pulling everybody off. They love that. Come on. That's my only hope, because honestly, do I want to see these two guys amateur style with it just grabbing the holds? I'm gonna flat out tell you, on the surface, this sounds horrific. This sounds like this will put me the fuck to sleep. It will put me to sleep.
Do you have any preference on who wins this, or opinions? I mean, do you think this is just a stupid comedy title that needs to stay on Yano? Is it something that
keep it on Yano?
Okan wins it, you're thinking, why is he being dragged down with this fucking anchor?
Yeah. No, I mean, here's the thing. Yano can win. Yano's going to win this with a schoolboy, right? Like some shitty fucking, roll up, and that's how he's going to win. He's going to, right? That's what's happening here, right?
I assume so. I mean, there's other ways you can get there, whether it's going to involve some props, some toys. We'll see. But we spent longer predicting this match than the match itself will actually take. Yeah. So probably time to move on. The sixth match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match with Robbie Eagles defending against Despy. So you're thinking Despy retains. I was thinking, you're thinking Robbie Eagles retains.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Despy winning, just by virtue of the fact that they flipped the junior tag belts. I think Despy is probably going to be champion. Hiromu wins Best of the Super Juniors, and then we can get that match at Wrestle Kingdom. But again, the same thing applies here that I said about the Never six-man titles. The junior heavyweight title has been leaned on heavily to be, second attraction, given that there are fewer singles titles in Japan than there used to be. But now this is, again, it's a sixth match on a 9-match card. They're not going to be getting much time. Probably, 15 minutes? But again, should be enough. I'm excited by this card, and as much as there's not going to be any matches drawn out for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I find that refreshing, and I'm excited to see what these wrestlers can do with limited time, rather than being told that they've got to go for 10 minutes longer than they probably want to.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I just think that, it makes sense for Robbie Eagles to lose, and everything that you have laid out. It depends on how long is he staying? Like if he wins, he's not going back home, is he? He's staying in Japan, I would think. Yeah, he's probably losing, but I'm going to go. I'm going to say he holds on to it. Why not? Just to play devil's advocate.
Then our seventh match is the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship match with Tanahashi, his second defense against Kenta. Now, just caveat here, maybe Shibata involvement. I'll give a 5% chance of that happening. Let's go into this match not expecting it. I don't think it's going to happen. Don't expect it to happen. If it does happen, that will be a nice little surprise. But if it's just Tanahashi Kenta, I feel they've had quite a lot of matches over the last year, and they've all left me feeling a little bit underwhelmed.
Yep.
Again, with shorter time, maybe they'll have to do something a bit more interesting, a bit more engaging here. In terms of who wins, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the plan is for this US heavyweight title. It could be an attraction for whoever wins that to fly over to the States and do some tours, do some strong tapings, maybe fuck about with Impact, AEW, whatever.
Kenta still lives there, right?
Yeah, I think it would make sense for Kenta to do that. Yeah. I'd be interested in that. So, yeah, I will predict a Kenta win and Kenta to take it to the States and do something with it.
I know this is going to be a dumb question, but this will be the first time he holds that title, right?
Well, he held the briefcase for a long time.
Right, that's not
the title. You may remember that No. Yeah, that's correct.
I think he wins the title. I think he wins the title and triumphantly returns to Florida and defends that title. I could see that. I could see that. Get that off of Tanahashi. Tanahashi doesn't need a title.
Unless we want Tanahashi to keep it and go into Wrestle Kingdom and defend it against someone like Jon Moxley.
That does leave, okay, so let's just say that he does lose it to Kenta. What do we do with Tanahashi going into Wrestle Kingdom? I know that the narrative has been him elevating others in past years. But I can't think of one sexy match unless we are bringing in people to have a sexy match. Because the sexiest matches for Hiroshi Tanahashi at the Tokyo Dome is going to be with someone that's not on the New Japan roster right now. Am I right?
Yeah, can't disagree with you there.
Okay.
I think he's wrestled everyone there is. He's feuded with everyone there is to feud with.
Yeah. So if we're looking for a sexy Tanahashi match, which we love to have on a big stage because we know he delivers, I don't care what condition he's in physically. Big stage, Tokyo Dome, Wrestle Kingdom. The man's going to put on a show. That sounds like he needs a good dance partner. I'm just saying that might be something to consider. That special attraction match. Hey Joel, I don't know if you noticed, we got 2 nights again at the Tokyo Dome and then another night at Yokohama. We got some seats.
Interesting. Did you see that AEW are having a TNT special on the 8th of January?
On the 8th of January?
Yeah, the same date as the Yokohama Wrestle Kingdom.
Well, is it a live event?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have not done my research.
Okay.
But there was some speculation. Some people said, maybe this is going to be
a taped to broadcast.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Probably not, but
probably not.
Just throwing that out there.
That is interesting because that would be, wouldn't that be a smart little thing? I mean, AEW doesn't have any of the production costs, right, involved in that. Tape the broadcast. They show it. They chuck it up there. More people will see New Japan than they have in a long, long time. That's a win-win for everybody. That is a win-win for everybody. Again, we're speculating based off of one sentence that Joel has said of, they have a special, whatever that means. That could be a taping from Poughkeepsie, New York. But I mean, if we're if we're speculating like we like to do, that's a smart move for everybody involved, not for nothing.
I would like someone to edit together all the times we've been speculating this and being wrong about all of them, just desperately trying to inject some buzz of excitement.
Right. That's what we're doing, though. But that's what we're doing. Again, I'm not predicting anything. I'm not sitting here telling you what's going to happen. I'm sitting here saying, okay, let's get fucking pumped up, but what could happen, and then get thoroughly disappointed when after a year it doesn't happen. That's what this show is. In case you haven't figured it out.
Damn right. Okay, 8th match is the IWGP World Heavyweight Rights to Challenge in Tokyo Dome contract, which is now the belt It's the Generation 4 belt.
Yeah.
Kazuchika Okada defending against Tama Tonga. I quite like this match in the G1. And again, G1 matches always have that sort of added bonus of you never know who's going to win. Here, we know exactly who's going to win. So I think the aim is to just have a good match. There's not going to be any drama or excitement to it because I don't think anyone is buying Tama Tonga winning it. And just hopefully it doesn't go too long. Again, let's get in and out of there in less than 20 minutes and I'll be happy.
I feel bad for guys put in that spot, though. Like, they get that win, and then there's always that follow-up match. And it, they always lose. It always goes nowhere. So I kind of feel bad.
It's good for Tama Tonga. I think that's more than he could have expected, to be honest. I mean, if you wind the clock back a year or 2 years, if we sat there and said, "Oh, Tama Tonga challenging for the G1 Wrestle Kingdom contracts," then you'd say I was smoking crack. So again, I think this is what I said after the G1 match. This is the Tama Tonga gold watch. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for sticking by us through this hard time. There's your big G1 win over Okada. Have your little contract challenge and back to the tag division you got. Yep. Even though I thought he was really good as a singles wrestler, and maybe we'll see more of that. But I'm not ready to shit on this match. Not much drama, but I think it'll be a good match anyway.
I hope so. Because if it is a good match, then you have somebody that you can go to in the future too, right? Where if you wanted to. Like, if he has a good match, people won't dismiss the idea of him being a challenge to another title. You know what I mean? So I kind of hope that it is a good match because I think, listen, I think we all can agree we're over GOD. And if we have some other options that are sexy, then yeah, I'm all for it. So I sure as hell hope it's a great match because that just opens the door for other things.
Give me percentage odds of there being some kind of House of Torture Bullet Club shenanigans here. Let's say,
I'll say
for
low.
the sake of argument, like Evil interfering,
right?
Costing Tama Tonga the match, the Bullet Club House of Torture.
I hope not. I mean, just think of that. What that means for Okada, and think about what that means for Tama Tonga. We're trying to elevate a guy.
Tama Tonga Evil singles feud. Tama Tonga defending the honor of the Bullet Club. Evil is the invading House of Torture spin-off.
We're doing this. Wait, we're doing the breakup with Tama Tonga and not with Jay White.
So Tama Tonga first. Tama Tonga is defeated by Evil, and then Jay White reappears as
a savior.
Yeah.
So Tama Tonga is the punk.
Yeah.
Oh, you should tweet him that.
He will shout at me. He'll say bad words and make me feel sad.
He'll call you dirty.
Call me a flame ass Dorito or something.
Yeah. Bitch. Wasn't he the guy who hoped somebody got killed or something like that? Like he was
he had a Twitter beef with a war veteran.
Guy from the military.
Yeah. And he blocked us. And then he unblocked us. So that's something
he blocked us.
This is when we were shitting on him in the 2018 G1. So we never said anything directly to him. Probably a bit of vanity searching, blocked us, but then unblocked us. So again, I like to think of what that situation was like, where Tama Tonga was thinking about us and thought, you know what, these guys are all right. I was wrong, and I'm going to unblock them.
There's no reason anybody should be blocking us. We should be doing the blocking. You know how many idiots Joe has to see? And he doesn't give a fuck. That's the funniest thing. That's always the thing that makes me laugh. Is that you could give a shit. Like he doesn't care. People, he doesn't care. He doesn't care.
So I'm about to be a father of 2 children. Right. I could not give a flying fuck what Mr. Random Twitter 7 followers says to me.
Yeah, fucking unbelievable. Okay, cool. So that's that. Tama Tonga likes us, and we like him. So let's.
Well done, Tama Tonga. Good pro wrestling. We like you. Main event, IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match. Shingo Takagi, third defense against Zack Sabre Jr. And, let's acknowledge this is probably a filler like a replacement defense. I think the plan probably would have been Ibushi, and good chance of Ibushi actually winning the belt. As it is with Zack, whilst I would love it to happen, I don't think it will. I think this is a filler defense. And again, without that G1 drama, who's going to win, the drama is compromised here. So I think the best we're hoping for is an exciting match, which I'm sure they'll deliver. But yeah, these matches in sort of the Power Struggle, King of Pro Wrestling spot are always a bit tricky just because unless you have a credible challenger, then there's not much drama to it. And I'm afraid to say this is the case for the main event too.
Give me a percentage of Zack Sabre Jr. walking out as IWGP Heavyweight Champion. Give me a percentage.
Gosh, 2%. I mean,
2%.
I just think the story is there with Shingo and Ospreay and Shingo and Okada. It's all there. There's too much there for Shingo. Too many unresolved narrative threads for him to suddenly throw Zack into the mix.
All right. That would make things really complicated, wouldn't it? Oh well. Look, I mean, I'm and we got Shingo. Still, it's not like we're taking a drop back. And again, everything is leading up to Billy coming back and Okada with his beautiful, beautiful belt that he wears so proudly. And once again, double gold dash. It would be triple gold dash at this point, right? Wouldn't it be? If everybody's winning all the belts, the phony world title, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and Shingo's. So
just big like smelter in the middle of the ring. Everyone's got to throw their belts, and they're all melted down. Yeah,
it'd be great. I would love that. That would be cool. Like if you lose, it goes into that hot, just smoldering, flaming, and it melts right in front of them. And they're like, "Fuck!" And then the next match happens, blah blah blah, and then by the end, I don't know how they would rig it, but by the end of the match, they're able to construct this new belt that's been forged from all this other. Wow, we should be bookers, dude.
This is good shit.
I know. Great.
All right, well, that's Power Struggle. Let's dip into Ultimate Attack from Strong. So this was, again, the taping from Garland, Texas. First match, Fred Rosser, Rocky Romero defeated Danny Limelight, JR Kratos. So it's Fred Rosser got the pin over Danny Limelight after 14 minutes, 40 seconds with a gut feeling. So I like this little story they're launching now with Fred Rosser making his way through Team Filthy to get his crack at Tom Lawler. So yeah, good match, fun match. Danny Limelight was really good here. Again, he's a guy who, with travel opened up, I would not be... He'd be a good candidate, actually, for freshening up the junior tag division. And yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in Best of the Super Juniors as well. I think he's a really useful guy to have around. Second match was Lio Rush defeating Taiji Ishimori, 15 minutes, 13 seconds with the final hour. So this is proof, if anyone needed it, I mean, I don't think we did, that Lio Rush is capable of having high-quality singles junior matches with the top junior talent in New Japan, and you could pencil him into the Best of the Super Juniors tomorrow and he would not look out of place at all. I think he could win it. I'm not saying I think he's going to be in it. I don't think he is, just because of the visa situations, but it's clear at least that New Japan are still keen on him, because to have him beat Ishimori, who, is no slouch. Ishimori is a protected talent in New Japan. He's valuable to them, so they wouldn't have him losing to anybody. So the fact that Lio won here is remarkable in and of itself. And then our main event was Lance Archer and Minoru Suzuki defeating Royce Isaacs and Tom Lawler. So Suzuki pinned Royce Isaacs after 11 minutes, 7 seconds. And I thought Royce Isaacs was the most interesting part of this match. And Suzuki gave him quite a lot, actually. Suzuki, it's the end of this US tour. I hate to be a misery guts and a stick in the muds, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm pretty fed up, seeing the same match again and again for Suzuki.
Well,
I'm not complaining that he's doing it. The matches, it's just the same every time. It's forearm exchanges and it's funny faces.
Right. And
I understand why he does it, because he's not a young man and he's making great money from it. So fair play to him. I fully respect it. I wouldn't want him to do anything differently, but I cannot muster enthusiasm and excitement. Say, oh wow, look at this amazing exchange. I saw that on Twitter. Someone posted, look at this incredible, breathtaking exchange between Hangman Page and Suzuki. And it was just forearm exchanges and funny faces. And if you don't see that kind of stuff, if you only watch US wrestling, then I understand the novelty of that and why someone like Suzuki would be very exciting. But he's got his little grift going, and fair fucks to him. not a complaint, but I'm not particularly interested in the matches. Although I will say what was quite fun that I do recommend people check out at the end of this match was Suzuki cutting promos in English, which it was very, very cute because he said something. He was like, "I will come back," or something like that. And then Lance Archer said to him, "Say it again, do it again." And then Suzuki got a bit confused and was like, What was that? And then he started giggling. It was quite adorable. So if you want to see like a more sort of cute, playful side of Suzuki, then watch the end of this, the aftermath of this Strong main event, because it was very funny, very good.
Now I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you 100% in the sense of the matches are exactly the same anywhere you go. It's no matter who the opponent. Blah 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 blah. What does that say though about Suzuki himself? That I mean, and you know, he's probably the biggest name on these shows. Not probably. He is the biggest name on these shows that he's been on that U.S. tour. And the crowd, at least in my limited viewing, just ate him up. Could not get enough of him. Like, that to me is a pro wrestler. Like a guy who has the charisma and the presence. That's the word I'm looking for. The presence to be able to walk out there with his towel, the whole 9 yards. Everyone's singing along. Everyone's pumped. Everyone feels like they're seeing a legitimate star. And again, the matches, he's not really doing all that much. He's hitting very hard in very safe places, no doubt. Sounds amazing, reverberates throughout the arena. But he's the star. Like, that to me is, for him to be able to pull that off, like wherever he went, that speaks volumes about who he is. And that's what makes him special. And that's what I think people want to experience. Like, they want to go on that ride. And the matches are fun and exciting because of that. Like, if there was just two guys in there doing the same thing, you'd be shoulder shrugging, be like, all right, this is good. But the fact that it's him doing it, and the fact that he's able to put together the entire package, the entire pro wrestling package, is what makes it special and fun and unique. And also
seeing it against some of people's favorite US wrestlers,
yes.
Seeing him do it against guys like Moxley or Bryan Danielson, I completely understand what the appeal is there.
Yeah, I mean that's what's happening here. But yes, wet blanket, Joel. The matches are the same. They are absolutely the same.
It's making what I think when we finish recording, I'm going to go back and watch Suzuki versus Goto from Wrestle Kingdom 12, because that was a fucking good match.
Watch it. You'll hear Don Callis call me names on commentary.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to God. Yeah, that match.
I remember that.
They're like, he's an asshole or something like that. I'm like, what? No, I forget. He's a jerk or a nerd, or I forget what it is. But yeah, they spent a good minute talking about me because we were doing the bald-headed geek bit. Bald-headed geek. Kevin Kelly took liberally from Jim Crockett Jr. All right, anywho, what else we got?
Tom Lawlor is a free agent now, so the MLW contract is done. Do you think he is a guy that New Japan will want to be tying down to a proper contract, or do you think they'd be perfectly happy to continue with the way things are? Because if I was New Japan, I would be trying to get him down at the table and saying, look, we want you to be a big part of this company for the next 18 months or whatever. We want you in Japan. We want you in the G1. We want you mixing it up with the top guys on our domestic roster.
Right.
Please sign here.
Okay, let me say this. If they don't, New Japan is not playing hardball with anybody. Right? They're not seriously trying to be a company that is to be thought of in the top tiers of pro wrestling companies in the United States. Is that clear? Is that if they
Yes.
aren't proactively having to have a sit down contract, sign here, we want you here, here's the money, sign here, please, we want you, we think you're valuable, etc. If that hasn't happened, or is not planning on being happening, New Japan's not seriously. You can't seriously consider them as a top player in the United States. Agreed?
Yes, I think it would be promotional malpractice not to make a serious play for him.
For all that he's done for Strong, for all that he's done to help that company. Now, again, this might be an issue of Tom Lawler saying, I'm going to go explore my options elsewhere, right? That's fine. That's fine. But if New Japan at least hasn't made the effort to do this, whether they win or not, whether they have the money to do so or whatever it is, if that isn't the case, we're not a serious company in the United States.
Yeah, we're in agreement there. Sean says, when do you think we will get tag titles for Strong? Do you expect to see West Coast Wrecking Crew, Aussie Open, Ishii, Goto, Yoshi, Okada, Hardcore Yano, and Nichols for Tag League? No, none of them. We're not going to get any of those mentioned for Tag League, I'm afraid. I think Tag League is going to be rough.
Sparse.
I mean, I'm sure everyone will try hard, but when those lineups come out, people are going to be like, oh, and I will be reaching out to more guest co-hosts as I struggle.
I was about to say.
With double parenting.
Yeah, I would say get your demo tapes in.
But yeah, I think tag titles are Strong. Would that be a good idea? I mean, is it deep enough to run that?
Yeah,
probably. I think so. Yeah, why not? And again, build up one team as your ace team. West Coast Wrecking Crew. Just say, right, you're our guys. You are going to have these tag titles. You're going to be all on commons for the next 9 months. Then you're coming over to Japan for World Tag League or Dominion or whatever. And you're going to have a program with our IWGP Tag Champs.
Well, how come we can figure that out?
I'm sure it's something that has crossed the mind of Rocky Romero. He's the brains behind the operation. Totally. Sean also says, what are your thoughts on the New Japan Strong commentary team not knowing the names of people's signature and finishing moves? Yeah, it sucks. And I understand that Matt Raywalt is new to the product, but it's rough. It's
not doing themselves any favors. Let's put it that way. No, not doing themselves any favors. And again, as we talked about, we do have a free agent out there that I think would fit in just fine.
A lot of Squid Game questions. These have been in the can.
What is Squid Game? I have when I tell you I have no idea what the fuck this is. I don't even know what it means. What is this? So
it's a Netflix Korean TV drama about people who voluntarily enter a competition to win loads of money, but it's deadly. Like if you lose, you play childhood games, but if you lose, you get killed. And
why is this so? Why do I hear this everywhere? Why is it so good?
It's really good. It's just captured everyone's imagination. I think maybe a touch overrated, but I had a blast watching it. Me and Melly got through it in about 2 nights. We binge watched the whole thing. Really well acted. Some of the set pieces are fantastic. So yeah, if you haven't watched it, you'll have a good time. I mean,
Am I going to like it? No. Okay. That's all I needed to hear. No, that's all I needed to hear.
Well, you just don't like TV. I don't know. There is a touch of the pro wrestling about it, to be honest. You know, you got your sort of colourful characters and the gimmick games and competitions and stuff and high stakes.
Am I going to think it's stupid? Am I going to be like, oh, what am I watching? I will be.
Give it a go. Give it a go.
Is there anybody I know in it?
No, it's Korean. They're Korean actors. It's subtitled, but I thought the acting was brilliant anyway for the Korean actors at least. So a lot of people want sort of New Japan comparisons. Kieran says, which New Japan wrestlers would make it to which round in Squid Game and why? Charlie B says, if you could cast New Japan wrestlers into Squid Game, who would play each part? As Aurelio, imagine a Squid Games with just wrestling.
Oh my God, Squid Game. So
I would have Evil and Dick Togo have got to be in it. They're going out in round 1. Bullet to the head. I think Yano's got to be in there. Some sort of Yano shenanigans in round 2. We've got to have Suzuki in there. I think he could be like the sort of scary gangster person. Naito is your main character. I think is a good shout. He would be if I had the book, if I had the Squid Game book, he's making it all the way to the end. Maybe a betrayal or two along the way. Maybe Sanada tries to turn on him towards the end. So there's my Squid Game booking. So that is the Squid Game questions. What else have we got here? Bash says, with the likes of Kenny, Bryan Danielson and now Adam Cole say they want to wrestle again in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they should be slotted on the US side of things, or do you think they'll be playing a big part when travel opens up in Japan, Wrestle Kingdom time? Who do you think they can face? And Ben says thoughts on Adam Cole wanting to do New Japan again. Can't see him having big feuds or even a tournament, just great one-off matches. So do you think Adam Cole is a person that we see wrestling for New Japan again in the near future?
Maybe. I think they have bigger names that they want. And when I say bigger names, I mean bigger names from a New Japan fan base. Who would they want? You know what I mean? But I would not be surprised. Again, I think a lot of this... Don't think that the people that run these promotions don't do the same things that we do on maybe a more informed basis of, okay, can we bring this guy in? What if we bring that guy in? What if we do this? What if we do that? Truth be told, Kenny's not doing strong. I would be shocked. And I will say this as well. A lot of the AEW guys that worked strong and stuff like that, aside from like Moxley, is there any other? Who's the other guy? Who's another guy that worked in front of a crowd? Well, Eddie Kingston did, so I'll shut my mouth. My point was,
they got enough guys for Strong.
Yeah. I mean, Strong. Here's what
and
you want
I don't think he's enough of a draw to really make waves if he were to fly over to Japan. You know, if it's like,
right.
Oh, Adam Cole's coming to Wrestle Kingdom, are Japanese fans really going to give a
he's
shit?
Fourth
I'm
match.
Not sure.
Yeah, he's fourth match.
I think maybe if you're doing sort of cross-promotional big shows in the States, there's a lot of value to him there because he's a big star in America, but not so much in Japan, I feel.
Look, Circle Wrestle Kingdom. Like that's when we'll see where we stand with any relationship we have with any promotion. Circle Wrestle Kingdom, because again, if travel is opened up and if all that quarantine is reduced to 3 days, that's doable. If all that happens and we're on the same path come January, that's when we'll see all the people that people want. All this. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen there. I mean, you're not going to see strange shit at World Tag League. You're not going to see. Get hyped for Wrestle Kingdom.
Hayden says, "Will we see guys like Zack Sabre Jr., Taichi, Jeff Cobb, and Evil being?" We see guys like Zack, Taichi, Cobb, Evil being pushed more during the pandemic rather than before. How do you think things will be when Jay White, Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson, Mox, etc. are able to return? Do you think those guys named at the start of the question will be lost in the shuffle?
That's the question, right? Because now it's feast or famine that we got. And guys, this is pro wrestling, right? A lot of guys are chummy. It's still pro wrestling. And a lot of it is, okay, what my value? And where am I at when it comes to the pecking order of a pro wrestling company, right? So, yeah, could there be animosity, jealousy? Hey, I've been fucking here while you guys were at the States. I kept this company afloat, working my ass off. G1, and now you're going to roll in here and take a spot. That's certainly a possibility. That mindset. Don't get me wrong. Now the good news is that from what I understand of relationships with others, and I don't know everyone and every relationship everyone has with everyone. This crop of wrestlers seem to get along.
That's a crop. Sorry, I had to do that. I think you should leave reference. I couldn't help myself.
That's fine.
What a crap.
But you get my point. The idea is, could there be jealousy and animosity? Yes, absolutely. Will there be? Maybe. Will people who have been carrying New Japan for a couple of months while COVID was away, maybe become devalued with the influx of talent that is expected to come ashore? Yeah, I think so. And I think that's going to lead people to be a little bit unhappy, I think, and feel underappreciated. And, issues, who knows? But yeah, I mean, as with any professional athlete or team, that should be expected, to be honest with you. Like, if you take pride in what you do and you want to be the best, yeah, somebody just kind of moseying on in on your spot. Oh, okay. No matter what the perceived value is, yeah, it's going to sting a little bit. It should.
Let's dip into some Discord questions. Classic Cat says, of all the current New Japan wrestlers, obviously excluding Gedo, Jado, Togo, Rocky, who do you think will be the next generation of bookers? I think Naito's got a good mind for the business. I can see he's got a good eye for detail. So I think he is someone who would want to be involved in that.
The names you think you would be probably wouldn't. And well, Ricky Choshu did kind of have New Japan under one of the greatest. But I was thinking like Tanahashi. I mean, I'm sure he already has massive influence on the book. I'm trying to think of somebody a little bit outside the box, though. Naito is probably a good pick. Not that outside the box, but it's a good pick. Maybe somebody like I was going to say Tiger Mask, but nah. I'm trying to think of somebody older. See, here's the problem here. If you get too older, they're not going to be current. Like, you don't want Yuji Nagata in there. Because I don't think Yuji Nagata would be able to understand, like, what the fuck. I'm trying to think, like,
Great Okan's anime references.
Yeah, or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okan, actually, he's someone I think has got a good mind for the business. I think he's a guy who gets it. So somewhere in the future, I could see him being involved.
Actually, just Nespi or Kanemaru. That might be good.
Yeah.
Somebody like that. Okay.
Let me transition to another classic catch question, because you brought it up about influential people in the company. Who do you think is more influential backstage, Okada or Naito? It feels like Naito has a ton of pull. It feels like Okada is the one who, I don't know if it's just kayfabe, but he just gets away with all the wacky shit more egregiously. There's another question about this, actually. Mark says, do you think Okada is fucking with New Japan for random requests? For example, paraphrasing, but KOPW will change the business. Instantly, it's a comedy bullshit title. The whole seemingly endless, boring money clip run. And now I'd like the V4 title instead of a briefcase. So do you think, who's got more pull backstage?
Okada.
Okada or Naito? Yeah.
Okada. Yeah. Okada. Absolutely Okada. I think, again, let's put it this way. We have the KOPW, right? That's the equivalent of Okada going into the ring and taking a shit in the middle of it and being like, this is our new title. My turn. Why does he turn into Ethel Merman when he says, my turn? Yes.
Joel and Damon, explain why my turd is going to be good. Find the positives in that.
Right. I think Okada. I mean, once again, to be clear, just the people that I've talked to and we've talked to, that's the general gist. It seems like he's the guy. He is the straw, if you will, stirring the drink.
Base Collector says, when will Esther start consuming the product now that she's a staple third chair on the show? Well, she's at a play date at the moment. That's why it's been quiet. And that is my question. Yeah. So I'm just going to keep doing questions until they come home or until you stop me. I do have it, not as a dream, but something that I would like in the future is just, I have this image in my head of me taking Esther and Arthur to Tokyo Dome or Korakuen or whatever it is. Just take them to see a live show in Japan. I think that will be a lot of fun. And, take them to a football match at Emirates Stadium as well. I want them to have these fun experiences because I love my dad very much, and he gave me plenty of wonderful, and still gives me wonderful experiences and trips and days out and stuff. But he never took me to wrestling, never took me to football. And again, that's not a complaint. This is not a regret or anything, because we had a different
Stop crying, Joel, please.
But I want to take my kids to wrestling, and so I hope one day in the future I can have my kids there and take them to TGI Fridays and meet you and everyone else, and that will be really nice.
Nice. I will say this, that one of the memories that I have as a child is the first time I went to wrestling with my dad. So yes, they are kids. You'll never forget the first one, especially if it's in like a big arena and it's, you won't, I think it's good.
Like taking it to like a sold out Osaka Joe Hall, like a Red Hot Dominion or something.
Yeah.
That would be what I want to take them to first. I would do that before Tokyo Dome, actually.
Yeah. That's going to be the thing where she's with her friends at the bar and she's like, yeah, I went to this wrestling thing. It was so great when I was little. I will never forget. Yeah, like that's a story she will tell for the rest of her life. So yeah, you definitely want to do that.
Andrew says, if travel opens up and the new Japanese Prime Minister encourages the lifting of all restrictions, how likely would you be to make the trip for 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom? Well, it's not going to happen for this Wrestle Kingdom. Yeah. Next Wrestle Kingdom, possibly. I mean, Thailand's now open up for vaccinated tourists without having to do quarantine. I mean, they just do the test when they arrive one night if needed. So we'll see if Japan follows suit. But I wouldn't rule out the possibility of doing it next year. I mean, obviously, logistically, it's going to be tough for me, but what about yourself? Is that something you'd be looking at in possibly 2023?
Yeah. I would like to. I'm going to be honest with you. Here's my biggest problem is that I've worked myself into a shoot so much with the idea of flying that long that I don't know if I can do it. So I would either need some serious like fucking horse tranquilizers to get over there, or like travel has gotten to the point where I can get on a plane and be there in like 2 hours, or somehow the earth shifts and Japan is like a 2-hour drive. That's my biggest obstacle right now, is that unfortunately it's been so long since I have traveled that I've kind of built this thing up in my fucking head again. So I don't know. I don't right now, like if you said, okay, everything's open up, you can go to Japan and I'll give you the money and go, I would probably say no, just because mentally I don't think I could do it. But again, we'll see. Look, it's one of my favorite places on earth. Here's another thing too. It's so draining. The whole process of getting there and coming home, and it's just so incredibly stressful that like it really fucks me up for like a week after, at least, like sleep and just everything. It's just a very stressful thing. I don't know. I'm going to give you a solid I don't know. Now, I will put this to a person, though. If you've never been, and if you're considering going, by all means, go. It is the most wonderful place. You will have the time of your life. There's no place in the world like it. It is so great. The people are wonderful. The food is fantastic. But to answer the question, I don't know if I'll ever be back. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if I'll ever be back.
I know what will get you back.
What's that?
Katsuyori Shibata. Moving on. Liam says, what's the taste profile of your ideal IWGP champion? I would think an ideal champ is like Skittles, a nice mix of sweet and sour. And that is my question. I'm going to go with the flavor profile for Thai food, like a tom yum soup, where it's most Thai dishes. It's a combination of sweetness from palm sugar, sourness from lime juice, saltiness from fish sauce, and spiciness from chili. And I think you want all of those flavor profiles for a good champion. They've got to have those levels where, they can do the sweetness, being the baby face, maybe the baby face underdog that everyone's cheering for. You're getting behind them as they're chasing for the title. But they need that spicy and sour edge to them. They've got to be able to shift gears and have a bit of edge to them as well, because otherwise it's just, you end up with a bland champion. And I think all the great New Japan champions have had those levels to them and be able to sort of switch and tap into various aspects of their taste profile to elevate and highlight certain flavors depending on who they're wrestling against, what the other ingredients are in the dish.
I like that. Nice. Yes. Yeah, I would go in the same realm maybe, but like a fantastic Indian curry would be like that, where it's the heat on the back end, the kind of sweetness from onion and the tomato, and Now I'm
yeah, I'm hungry, so it's nearly my dinner time. Mally sent me she's ordering burgers. Oh,
burgers?
I didn't. Yeah, she's having. Doctor said that she needs to eat more iron and protein, so I'm taking her for a lot of steak, yakiniku burgers, things like that. So she's having burgers. I'm having a steak salad. I'm trying to be good because I don't fit into any of my work.
I'd be like, you know how you can get some more protein, dear?
No. What do you mean, Damon?
Get her a steak. Get her a big porterhouse steak. That's what I'm saying.
I like doing that to people. Just like when you know what the joke is, but it just what? Sorry, what
I was going to say come. I was going to say come. You should ejaculate down her throat. That's what you should.
As if she's going anywhere near my penis. Don't be ridiculous.
Come on. Well, you can shoot it across the room. Have her catch it like a bird.
Spider-Man. Yeah. No, that's awful. Xavier says, question for Joel, were you impressed by anything at the PlayStation Showcase? Nope, didn't watch it. Sorry. Question for Damon, were you impressed by anything from the Eagles in Game 1? So this was an old question. Presumably it's not Game 1 anymore.
No, it's like we can eat.
Have you been impressed by anything from the Eagles over the past 8 weeks?
No, actually not. They won big against a team that they totally destroyed. But like going into the week, there was speculation like, oh my God, they could lose this game and then the season's done and blah, blah, blah. And they blew them out. Like they just totally mopped the floor with them. They're a weird team. Eagles are a weird team. Like they're talent-wise, they're middle of the road. But then they'll absolutely shit the bed on games where you would think that they should win, and I don't know. They're just a weird team. They're not a playoff team. Let's put it that way. They're not a playoff team, but yeah. After midway point of the season, Joel, I would say they are middle of the road.
They're back. My family's back, so I'm going to stop here.
All right.
redcircle.com/super-j-cast. Daddy, she's saying daddy. Oh, I've got to go. Discord link, show notes, all the usual shit. Thanks, Editor Dan. Yeah, bye everyone. I want to stop. She's here. Esther. Hello.
Ugh. Hi, Angel. Hi, Devil. Uh-oh, is she shopping again? Calm down. She's just browsing electric toothbrushes.
It's easy to be unsafe online.
It's asking for her passport info to buy a toothbrush? Sounds legit to me.
Now it's easy to help protect yourself. Norton 360 with LifeLock gives you device security, a VPN for online privacy, and identity theft protection, all in one. Opt in to cyber safety. Save 25% or more off your first year at norton.com/news.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.